The Duke Blue Devils. We're going to call them the Bryce. What do we call it? What do we call them? The Bryce Blues. Bryce Devils.
Yeah, yeah. I don't even remember
The
I don't even
Blue
remember. Blue
Bryces,
Bryces.
yes. So the
The Blue Bryces.
Chase Bryce is the backup quarterback from Clemson, now going over to Duke. Duke finished 3-5 in the conference, 5-7 overall. They started out the year again in very dumb fashion, playing Alabama, and got jacked up right in the beginning of the season against, in front of the entire world, making the ACC look like an idiot there on national television. Quentin Harris is gone, but we know, like I said, Chase Bryce is coming in. Now, they don't say that he's going to get the job immediately, but I think he's going to be one of those guys that, should be able to take over that starting job. He's a great quarterback. If you remember, he has a lot to do with the reason why Clemson has a 2018 national title. His fingerprints or paw prints are all over that national title for sure. The biggest question for me with Chase Bryce and Duke is really the fact that this COVID-19 crap's happened, and he hasn't graduated yet, as far as I know. I think he was still waiting to graduate. He wasn't going to be able to go to Duke until the summer, and now you got all these problems. So where is he going to be able to work out? What's he going to be able to do to keep his athleticism, his skills up, to be ready for the fall? Maybe even if there's a shortened fall, or maybe even there's a late fall. It's going to be weird for him to have to take over and learn a new team and take over a new spot. So I just hope that he navigates that, and really every player is going to have to deal with it in some way, shape, or fashion, but definitely somebody who's transferred and then fighting for a starting job is not going to be easy with the situation the way it is. On defense, they're losing third-team All-ACC defensive player Kobe Kwanzaa. He was a linebacker who had 105 tackles last season, total tackles last season, 3 more than Isaiah Simmons. And so, obviously, he was all over the field for them. They have to travel to Pitt, NC State, and Notre Dame before November, which is not really that fun, I don't believe. And so, they also have a guy, Deon Jackson, that they feel like is going to be really good in the running game, which is kind of a question for them. As we noticed, this is kind of a trend for some of these coastal teams fighting for that top spot, is are they going to have a good running back or not? And we know the Tar Heels are going to have 2. And I feel like that if everything falls into place, Virginia Tech will have 2. So, but the rest of them, they're still kind of question marks around it. However, October is going to be a big time test for Duke, because they've got to go back to back, NC State on the road, and then they got to play North Carolina, and then they go on the road on Halloween to Notre Dame. Not going to be fun. Those 3 games in a row are not going to be fun. I'm not saying I think even with our man Chase Bryce, I don't think that they're going to be fighting for a top spot in the Coastal. I think 6 wins is kind of what they're looking at.
Yeah, look, I mean, us as Clemson fans, we like to think that all of our backup quarterbacks, could start at any other team in the ACC, and we'll see how Chase Bryce does. Is he going to be able to thrive at Duke, or is he going to have to, is he going to struggle his way through because does he have anybody to throw to? He doesn't have the playmakers that he has at Clemson, and that's just kind of going to be something he's going to have to work through. They have their home ACC games are Wake, UNC, Virginia, and Virginia Tech, and their road ACC games are Pitt, NC State, Georgia Tech, and Miami. Is Chase Bryce even going to be the guy? I think he's going to be the guy. I think he's kind of the leader in the clubhouse, but they could have one of these other guys coming in there, get the nod. Chris Kaepernick, Gunnar Holmberg, Luca Diamant, I think could be their other options there. So we'll see how it goes, but I do think Chase Bryce kind of has a leg up. He got the exposure at Clemson, of course, that Syracuse game. And what's really funny is, he didn't even have a great Syracuse game. He just made that one pass to T. Higgins on 4th down. And, of course, we eventually went on to, win the championship. So he was the hero, and a well-deserved hero for that. But it wasn't a great statistical game for him there. So as far as wide receivers go, they got, I say wide receivers, as far as their receiving threats go, they do have Noah Gray, who's a great tight end, who's coming back. 51 receptions, 392 yards, 3 touchdowns. That's pretty good work for a tight end. They have Jalen Calhoun, who had 46 receptions, 420 yards, and 4 touchdowns. So again, that's not a ton to work with. Noah Gray's a good tight end, but other than that, wide receiver room is not filled with a bunch of threats there for Chase Bryce. And you told us about Deon Jackson returning as their starting running back. I think you're right there. He's probably going to be backed up by Mateo Durant, who had 461 yards last season. And returning on defense, they have Dylan Singleton, who's a safety, 89 tackles, 5 tackles for loss, 2 sacks. So kind of a good, a good tackler, kind of all over the field kind of guy for him. is Dylan Singleton. Their top 2 tacklers are gone, so they're going to have to fill that void, and these are going to be some of the guys that do it, along with some seniors, Marquise Waters, Brandon Hill at linebacker, and Shaka Hayward at linebacker as well. So we're going to have to see if that defense can kind of make up for them and get Duke back to where they want to be.
Yeah, a lot of people are picking on us for talking about Duke. We got to talk about Duke. It's not basketball, I know. Not basketball. We got to talk about them. Although, like Marty Bruce said in chat, we beat them in basketball. Clemson beat them in basketball. So you got to say, hey, maybe they're a football school now because they obviously can't do anything in basketball. Thanks for watching this video, and make sure to join our live show every Monday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time right here on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss it.